Hey Internet, today is National Chocolate Day. And yes, I did already do a chocolate day, but this time it's national. So I better step things up a bit and make some homemade candy bars. Alright, here are our ingredients. Now let's get into this. Now I don't have the fine sugar that they asked for, that caster sugar, so I'm going to pop it in my blender, pop the cap on, and then I'm going to pulse it into fineness. Alright, then you want to take your butter, pop that in a bowl, add in your flour, that mighty fine sugar, and some vanilla extract, and then you're going to beat this for about a minute on medium. Now you want to transfer this crumbly mixture into your greased 8x8 pan. Start putting it into the base there and pressing it down. Alright, once you have that all pressed in there, you're going to want to bake this for 23 minutes at 350. Alright, while that's baking, you want to put some more butter in a saucepan. Add in some sweetened condensed milk. Get all that in there. And you want to add in some dark corn syrup. There we go. And some more sugar, and then you're going to heat this mixture up on about medium-low until all that sugar dissolves. You're going to want to be stirring that up. Alright, once you notice that all that sugar has dissolved, then you want to turn the heat up until this boils, and then once it boils, you want to turn it back down to medium-low. Alright, once that starts boiling, go ahead and turn it back down to medium-low, and then just keep stirring it and cooking it for about 9 minutes. And once that 9 minutes is up, go ahead and pour that mixture over top of your baked cookie crust bottom. Alright, now that we've got that in there, I'm going to let this cool for about 10 minutes on the stove, and then I'm going to pop it in the fridge for 20 minutes. I really need that to firm back up. Now it's time to melt down your chocolate. I went with milk chocolate. You can use bittersweet like the recipe calls for. I just got it in a metal bowl over some boiling water to help really melt that chocolate down safely. Let that melted chocolate cool just a little bit and then start pouring it on top of that caramely goodness. Oh, yeah. Now I'm going to let this cool off in the fridge for about a half hour to really solidify that chocolate. Now you just have to cut this into bars. It's time to spoil our taste buds. Now these aren't completely solidified on top. That chocolate took a long time. I even popped it in the freezer for a while. But it's getting late. And I want my Twix bar, alright? It's pretty freaking giant too. But let's go ahead. It's not bad. I think the cookie bottom, it's lacking crunch. I'm thinking that could have been baked a little longer, and that whole mix it up for just a minute until it's crumbly. You saw how that looked. That didn't look right. You want to make that a dough. Pretty much a dough. As soon as it turns into dough, you're good to go and press it in there. But I'm sure once it gets more solidified, it'll be a little better. But it has a good caramel taste. And it kind of separated into, like, almost seemed like the butter separated out. Like I had that on top, and I even poured a bunch of it off. But I'm sure once that solidifies, it'll be more caramely, more chewy. But you're definitely going to be missing that crunch unless you blended it up right. And I mean, you could even use a bigger pan since they're not, to not make them so freaking thick. It's not too bad, but it needs improvement, or my cooking skills need improvement. Either way, those directions led me astray. I might have partially failed you, Lady Lolo, but my night has still been quite awesome. And if any of you Twix addicts out there want to make some of these yourself, then there's a link down below for this recipe if you want to try it. And there's also an alternate recipe for a different kind of homemade Twix bar. But do not forget about that link down there that often balances things out. Ah yes, there is a third link down there. Like, comment, and subscribe.